Hey y'all, happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a good Monday. We're here. I know a lot of folks are back at work because they work with children. So I know some of our sisters cannot make it. We're down here in Texas. We got a tropical storm coming through, Nicholas. So I'm not going to keep y'all too long today. We just want to get into a couple of things. And for everybody watching on the replay, happy Monday to you as well. So, sisters, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's feeling great. Hope we have a productive and positive Monday. The housekeeping off the top, y'all, please hit the like button for me. Help me out. It means a lot to me. I'm always begging for likes. Subscribe if you haven't. And membership link is in the description box below the video. All right. So, with that being said, let me say hello to everybody who's here, and we can dig on into our chat for today. Marva, how are you? Queen Mermaid, how you doing? Auntie Eva, good to see you. All right. Private Joy says, how are you? It's good to see you always as well. Who else is in the building? Jam. She made it. She say, heck yeah. She want a ratchet, knockdown, drag out fight. Oh my goodness. Don't do none of that. Hey Tina, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey Angie. Marcella, you made it. How are you? Who else we got up in here? Jesse. All right. Wani. Y'all, my Christian key is back. Yes, we were praying for you, sis. We definitely got your back. And I hope you know it. Lala, my beautiful Lala. Hey Sandra, April C, how you doing? Good to see you. Learning to love myself. D Free B, how are you? Wonder Woman Marshall, hey. All right, my sister's coming on up in here. I'm happy to see you. Marilyn McGowan, girl, I already started blinging out your bonnets, and they coming out cute. So I'm having fun with that because you didn't tell me how to do it, so I figured that I was free to just run amok. And so that's what I've been doing, running amok. Hey, Miss Rochelle, how you doing? Good to see you. Sassy 1965, hello. DT, hey DT, I'm glad you're here to help us because you know when I don't have your notes, I'm lost. Chris Stephanie Stroud, how are you? MR Spiller, my sis that I love so dearly. I love y'all all, but y'all know she got a special place in my heart. That is my twin. Hey, Sharon Redmond, Miss Reed, S. Collins, Yvette, Velma Cook, nobody but, good to see you. Is this Lady Di? Hey, Lady Di, how you doing? We got Dana Cutler, Megan. We got Ty Bowden from all the way out there in California. Cindy White, how you doing? Dorit, how are you? Girl, your bottle is almost finished being blinged out. Like, it's really cute. I think you're going to love it. JC, you made it. Hey, gorgeous. How you doing? Fly Gray Streaks playing. How you doing? I love your name, by the way. Who else we got up in here? Let me just holler at everybody. Miss Blue Wheel, how are you? KB, how you doing? Lord, not with the B. Arthur picture. Okay. Nacho Twins mama. Hey, how you doing? Mackenzie, I am unique. Y'all, it's Ray Ray all day up in here. All right. Let's go ahead and block them. I don't know why they come up in here and know they're going to get blocked, but it is what it is, right? All right. Yeah, you know how it is, Wani. They just can't stay away from us, baby. We're too magnetic. I blame y'all. I got some of the prettiest girls on YouTube in my room. So yeah, they coming over here. I am unique. How you doing? All right. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. That's all. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Okay. Yeah. We had to. Ain't no big deal. We just block them and keep it cruising. We just keep it cruising. That's all. That's all. So yeah, let's get on into this thing for today. So y'all saw the title. Y'all know I'm crazy. I like to make the titles fun. So that way, you know, you kind of have an idea of what I might be talking about. But at the same time, hey Sharon, how you doing? At the same time, I still want you to have to kind of wonder, like, what in the world is she talking about, right? So today, the title is You Feel Like Fighting. Now, Jam say, hell yeah. I don't know why she say, hell yeah, she want to whoop somebody. But I don't want you to whoop nobody, okay? Let's see. You just saw the title, Late to the Fallout. Well, Demi P, how you doing? Okay, so the title, and y'all please hit the like button, please, 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 as you come in. I know it's not a whole lot of us, I know it, but please hit the like button. It helps, believe it or not, it helps, okay? So the title for our chat today is You Feel Like Fighting, okay? Now what we're talking about, just so you know, what we're talking about with you feel like fighting chat is when fighting is appropriate and how. When fighting is appropriate and how. Y'all please hit that like button, okay? It's 56 of y'all and 40 likes. Help your sister out. All right, Late to the Fallout say what we fighting about today. So what we fighting about today is the thing that's important. The things that are important. DC, my archangel, has made it in the building. Listen, I love it. Anytime I see DC or I see Egypt, I already know what time it is. Okay? So, anyhow, what we're talking about is when it's appropriate to fight. And I know y'all a lot of times hear me saying, don't fight stuff, don't take it on. It's not that I'm a pacifist. Okay? That's not what it is. And when I say pacifist, that was something that was really common at a certain point in history. Everybody who was, conscientious objectors to war and whatnot, and they were pacifists. Hey, Keisha E. And they don't believe in fighting and going on like that. They just don't believe there's ever a time, even when it comes to defending themselves. They don't even want to fight then. And that's okay if that's really how you feel. I'm not that kind of girl, so I'm not going to ever tell you that, right? It's just not my style. So you ain't never got to worry about sis telling you don't defend yourself or anything like that, okay? But I do realize that there are some people who are pacifists, and that's okay. Some people are. Now, when I say somebody is a pacifist, that is a person who believes that war and violence are unjustifiable at all times. Okay. And that's okay. They really believe, and this was a term coined by a French peace campaigner. I ain't going to get into all that boring stuff, right? But some people really and truly are pacifists. That's really and truly what they believe. I'm not one of those people. So I felt like, okay, let's have the chat. Because, the conversations come up from time to time because of the things that we go on and that go on with us in the world, right? You have where as Black women, we're under attack on a lot of fronts. Sometimes you can't even reject a man and be safe. Sometimes you can't go to the store and be safe. We're not safe when it comes to law enforcement, this, that, or the third. It happens. It's really a part of life that a lot of times we are under threat of attack or you feel like your life is in danger. So I'm never going to tell you, hey, it's never appropriate to fight. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Now, let's talk about the times when it is obvious. I mean, like just the plain old black and white obvious times when it's okay to take an aggressive defensive posture when it comes to anything, right? When it's preservation of life, when it's for your safety, the protection of your loved ones or your children, when you're trying to protect your livelihood or your way of life or how you provide for your family. And some people in different parts of the world may even say, culture and tradition are a reason that you would have a right, or it would be an obvious reason to take an aggressive defensive posture or to fight to defend yourself. Those are obvious things. They all are true at certain times. They all may be true or exactly true. Hey, Rochelle. Okay. But we got to talk about the fact that one, there's different ways to fight. And then two, every fight is not physical. Every fight ain't physical. And I want y'all to catch that. When I say every fight ain't physical, I mean even some of the physical threats that you perceive, right? Even some of the physical threats you perceive are not necessarily a physical threat. Let me explain, because I know sometimes I be sounding crazy. Okay. Hey, Miss Sparkle. Okay, not your twins, mama. You hit the bullseye. You with me? Thank you. So when I say that, what I mean is you can have somebody physically at your job that's after you. Like everything you do, they report you. Every time you 2 minutes late from lunch, they go into the boss man on you. You know, that's something that appears to be a physical threat, but there may be spiritual undertones. And I don't want y'all to miss that, because we're about to get into when it's absolutely appropriate to fight and how to do it. Lesson number 1. There are ways to fight for different reasons, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be physical. Thank you for my notes, DT. I love you. Even a physical threat is not always a physical threat. That person that's hawking you at your job and every little thing you do, they could have been sent by your adversary. You know, because, you know, we covered this in previous Crown Chats about the fact that there are negative spiritual entities that are sometimes there just to make your life difficult. Hey, Deborah Cohen. Hey, Darren. Y'all made it in? All right. Hey, Vita Worship. How you doing? Okay. So bear in mind that just because something is happening physically, it does not mean that there's not a metaphysical or a spiritual catalyst for what's happening to you. Okay? This is, you know, this is just us talking. You know how we talk over here. So pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? Before we get into the that part of it, I want to first cover when we should walk away and how to know the difference between a response and a reaction. Okay? Because y'all know we discussed this in a previous Crown Chat. Thank you for the bullseye, Miss Sparkle. And 100 is Collins. I appreciate that. Dana say sometimes they trying to stop you from your ultimate goal. Bingo. Thank you for the bullseye, Christian Key. The reality is this. Like you said, sometimes it's to stop you from a goal, and sometimes it's because the blessing that you're about to hit or whatever you're about to receive is something that they cannot take or they don't have the permission to take. So the only option is to make you give it away, which is right back to what I'm trying to get into now. When should you walk away, and how to know the difference between responding and reacting? Now, y'all know we talked about this in a previous Crown Chat, right? Do y'all recall? Anybody remember that one? Thank you for the bullseye, Wani. The difference in reacting and responding is that a reaction is something that you don't think about. It is a knee-jerk reaction. It is a reflexive action that you take as a result of some other stimuli. Meaning there was no thought process put into play. You just reacted. You had a reflex. Keisha, you remember? Okay. And remember we discussed that responding requires thought. You stop, you think about it, you measure twice, and you cut once. Responding requires thought. Responding is what we're supposed to be doing. Reacting will get you into traps. Reacting will get you into trouble. But if you respond, which means you took time, you thought about it, you considered it, you measured it, you prayed about it, you might have called your best girlfriend and y'all sat down and y'all conferenced about this thing. You might have sat down with your mom and them and talked about it. See, that's when you're responding. When you're taking time to measure the situation, think about it, pray about it, get wise counsel, and instead of just reacting, you respond. Hey, Odie Wright, thank you so much for making it, okay? Yes, Wonder Woman Marshall, tell them. Reacting will cause you to get a charge. Or sometimes it can cause a lot worse. It can cause worse. I've known of people that reacted, and the people they were reacting to were actually setting traps that took their lives. It happens in war, and it happens in real life. People set up decoys and everything. Like I've heard stories from my father who was in a couple of wars. Hey, Lel. And was talking about how sometimes enemy combatants would set up decoys. and they would have them crying or whatnot to make you react and have a human reaction, and you run to go help them, and you run into mines and different traps and things that have been set. So a reaction can take your life. It can take you out of this world. It can have you locked up. A reaction can ruin your livelihood. A reaction can ruin your image. So let's respond and not react. DT's notes, lesson number 2. Know when best to walk away. Remember our previous chat on reaction versus response. Thank you so much. Okay. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Jackie. I appreciate you. So we got to first recognize the difference in a reaction and a response. Check yourself. Even if you feel like you need to physically defend yourself, which isn't really the crux of what we're talking about today, but let's just say for the sake of argument, right? If you feel like you need to take an aggressive defensive posture, examine yourself, pull out your accountability mirror, check you before, so nobody else has to. Check you and say, okay, am I reacting to my feelings being hurt? Am I reacting to an emotion? Or did I really sit down and think this thing out? That's what you got to do. You got to really sit down and think it out. Did I think this through? Sometimes it's not even a long process. If you're okay, perfect example, right? Hey, Lauren Frazier, how you doing, sis? Perfect example, y'all. That woman that was in New York City, I don't remember what borough, but she was at the liquor store. Y'all may have seen the story in the news or in social media. And the young man approached her and he wanted to buy her alcohol that she was purchasing, right? She said, no, thank you. He told her she thought she was better than him. He physically attacked this woman. Sometimes it doesn't take a long time to figure it out. Hey, Lady C Red. Yeah, Dana, check the pros and cons. And sometimes it can be a split second decision. It was Harlem. Okay, gotcha. I didn't remember what borough, but I knew it happened in New York. So you can sit there in a situation like that. You can tell that there is an immediate threat to your being. And so it's not just a reaction. You're responding to an immediate threat. But sometimes we want to respond to an emotional response. Somebody said something that hurt your feelings. Somebody told a lie on you and it made you mad. Your husband done came in the house for the last time, and you done asked him 100 times to take his boots off at the door, and he keep tracking mud on your floor. It can piss you off, but you still have to check yourself. Hey, Short Stack. Hey, CC Miller. You still have to check yourself. Reacting to an emotional response is not what it is. So you got to check yourself and gauge whether your reaction or whether your aggressive defensive stance is due to a reaction or something trivial or an emotional response. Because let me be very clear. Somebody making you mad is not a good enough reason to be fighting. And it's not that I'm just saying that because, oh, I'm so wonderful and I floated down from a cloud. I have truly made that mistake many times in my life and more times than I care to admit to. But if I got to be honest, it is never okay to be fighting in any way, shape, form, or fashion just because somebody made you mad. It is never okay. And you only make yourself look like a fool. DT's notes, lesson number 3. If you're feeling the need to react, take a step back and ask yourself what is leading you to go that way. That's right. Always check yourself. Always check yourself. Keisha E says, your reaction can take you back from where you have overcame. You are not the person you used to be. Now, sis, that's a word. That is a word. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it. And after you come down off of all of those endorphins and adrenaline and all those natural chemicals that your body cooks up and juices you up with, you are going to feel so defeated. So don't put yourself in that position. Absolutely not. Dana says we teach our kids that every day. That's right. It is never okay to be fighting just because someone made you mad or somebody hurt your feelings. That is not an acceptable reason. And I'm going to go on record as saying it. That's for me too, everybody listening, and the man in the moon. It is never an acceptable reason to be fighting. Absolutely not. Miss Sharon say it can be a real struggle. It can. It's not easy to not react. You know, somebody, playing in your face, it's real easy to allow your emotions to make you react when you know you're supposed to be responding. Sometimes it's the insult of it all. You feel like they insulting your intelligence and everything. You learning to check your temper. That's right. Every day. Take it one day at a time. Sometimes it might even be 1 hour at a time. Jam says, oh no, I stepped away. I don't need those kind of fights. I don't give away my energy like that unless I have to physically protect myself. Yes, but y'all know there are other ways where we engage when we shouldn't. We do it verbally too. We do it verbally. We get to fighting and going on verbally and trying to play the game of who got the ugliest mouth. I know I'm right about it. Sisters, we can the sisters talk? Y'all know that's what we do. Somebody say something to hurt your feelings or upset you, or you feel insulted, then instead of you thinking and responding, you react. And then it turns into a competition of who got the nastiest mouth. And it's not a think and respond. It is none of that. And I've seen it happen with people that's family, and you say you love each other. And then when you get mad, you forget that you love each other. You forget that you ever loved each other. And then the most horrible, vicious things are said. It ain't in passing. This ain't the strangers. Being angry is never, hey Samaj, it's never a good enough reason. Wonder Woman Marsha said, that's me. My mouth can be deadly. Child, mine too. Mine too. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. Y'all know I be telling y'all when I'm talking, I be, this is a chat between all of us. That's why I always try to catch all of y'all's comments. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm just as guilty. We all have to check ourselves and be real about the things that we do that just ain't so cool. Queen Mermaid said, please help me be slow to anger and not to react. I'm telling you, most of us is good and grown. It's a few young ones in here. But most of us is fully grown. We don't have nothing left to prove. At this point, yes, Keisha, it's often protecting your ego and not the situation. At this point, we ain't got nothing to prove. We don't need to prove how bad our mouths are. We done proved that 20, 30 years back. And when it comes to physical, we ain't got nothing to prove. We done already proved we know how to whoop some tail. Those of us that was out there showing our tails and fighting and whatever. We don't have nothing to prove. So you got to ask yourself at this stage in the game, ladies, what are we doing it for? I understand. Because you feel like people are pushing you where you don't want to go. Hey, Red Majestic Diva, how you doing? And S. Collins say she working on it. All right. DT's notes, lesson number 4. The strongest weapon that can really kill people is the mouth. Don't let your words be darts that can kill people. Reaction versus response. It's so true. I'm telling you. Sassy say I'm guilty. It's my mouth trying to work on it. I'm telling you. And as black women, y'all know we got mouths like ain't nobody got mouths. Yep, sometimes the anger takes over. But we have to be in control of ourselves, right? Remember, we're not animals. Animals can't help it. We can. We can help it. Okay? That's why it's always important to be accountable for the people that's in your circle and make sure you surround yourself with people that will check you when you're going sideways. It's important. Okay? So the next thing that I want to kind of hit on, and again, I'm talking to me too, so this ain't, Nitra's trying to tell us don't be around here cutting up and stuff. Nitra telling herself, don't be around here cutting up. Hey, Candace Lane. And that's the thing. We're all a work in progress, but progress is the operative word. We got a birthday in the chat. Whose birthday is it, DC? Let me get my calendar. Who done slipped past me? My helper that helps me with that is not available right now. She's going through some things. Let me go through my calendar. Hold on. Who done got past me? Oh, I thought you was telling me it was somebody's birthday. Sharon says animals have mannerisms, not manners. Exactly. Gwen says mentally shift your crown up and walk away. Exactly. Hold yourself together and hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a standard. Okay. Wonder Woman Marshall says words once put out there can never be taken back, and they accomplish what they were set out to do. It's true. And there's a reason for that. Odie says, I feel you. My coworkers try me every day, but I always go into my closet at work and pray, and God check me every time. He will if you let him. If you let him, he will. He's guaranteed to do it. I don't have one on my calendar for the date, DC. The next one is coming up on the 20th, and that's Demi P. And Demi P, I'm watching you. You better be here on the 20th, else I'm going to put out an APB. Okay? And Egypt has entered the chat. Thank you so much for showing up, the other half of my archangels. Okay? So we got to make sure that we are doing that to the important elements. So now the main thing that I want to kind of dig into is that statement that I made earlier, right? That some of the threats are not what they seem. Hey, Kennedy Monroe. Some of the threats just ain't what they seem, y'all. They're not. You know, we talked about the metaphysical and the spiritual aspects to life. Everything has two components because we have two components. Vita says she do the Serenity Prayer. Okay, that's nice. And just say her mouth is a scalpel. My God. JC, wasn't nobody's birthday today. DC was just checking. She was just checking. But you know, we covered that before when we start talking about the fact that we have duality. We are beings with a dual nature. We have a spirit and we have flesh. So everything that pertains to us is also operates along those lines. Hey, Aries Forever, how you doing? Okay. So everything that you facing may not be just what you think it is. That coworker that's plaguing your life may well be something that's sent by a negative spiritual or metaphysical entity to be a plague in your life. Hey, Veronica Barnes, how you doing? That's the first thing. That's one of the things when we're doing our responding and we're reflecting and thinking and measuring, okay, and reasoning, which is what the animals can't do. Consider the possibility that the threat that you're seeing or the attack that you're receiving, okay, may have a spiritual or metaphysical component. Okay, now, Jazzy, I'm gonna get you because you know you're supposed to hit me in the email with that, so I don't lose it. I caught it this time, but if I wasn't looking at that chat, I would have missed that. I got you. Wait a minute. We got Maureen Mercer coming up too. So Maureen and Demi is coming up. Y'all know I hate to miss a birthday, so please turn your stuff in, y'all. I mean, I don't know what else to do but to beg you. Okay. But back to what we're talking about, because that's not what we're doing today. You all right, niece? I got you. The only reason I say about the chat is because sometimes y'all know I don't catch all the comments. And I would feel horrible if I miss it because I didn't see everything. And I don't watch the playback. But I got it this time. I caught it and I literally just added it to the calendar. So I got it. So you ain't do nothing wrong, baby. I just don't want to miss nothing for nobody. But back to what I'm saying. Mine 131, Jazzy. What I'm getting at is, okay, always understand that you are not just a physical entity. So all of your enemies are not just physical. You got enemies that don't even have bodies, okay? And it's about time that we quit fooling ourselves. Stop fooling yourself. You have enemies that are not flesh and blood. And I ain't going to dig too deep into it, but I'm just going to tell it like it is real quick, and I'm going to get on past it. All of your enemies are not flesh and blood. And I'm going to go a little bit further to try to help you understand, okay, that these enemies are far more deadly. They're more dangerous. They're more calculated. And sometimes, y'all, the attacks that you're receiving, the more zealous, the more vehement, the more vicious, the more constant, it's because it's something bigger about you that you don't even know. Sometimes your enemies know you better than you know you. Sometimes your enemies understand how great you are long before you ever do. Sometimes your enemy can see what you're destined to become, and they trying to stop you before you ever get there. But when you react instead of responding, you will find yourself on detours, taking you in different directions than you were meant to go, just so they can delay the inevitable. Because make no mistake about it, whatever you were destined to become, whatever it is that you're supposed to be, you gonna be that at one point or another, even if it's just for the last 5 minutes of your life. But there are entities that are dedicated to keeping you on an alternate path because they know what you're supposed to be and you don't even know. I want y'all to really let that thing sink in. All of your enemies are not flesh and blood. They can use flesh and blood people and pushing them around like pieces on a chessboard. Hey, Ernestine, but you got to recognize that all your enemies ain't physical. Your biggest and most violent and vicious enemies you will never lay eyes on, they are non-corporeal, if I can borrow a $5 word. Meaning they ain't flesh and blood. You can't reach out and touch them. They ain't tangible. So you got to understand that you better learn how to fight another way. See, that was the whole point of this chat today, was for me to circle this thing back around and bring it right back to the question, you feel like fighting? Do you? Do you really? See, some of us have a nature to fight, but you get derailed because, one, you don't know how to fight. You think you know how to fight, but you really don't. That's one. And you get derailed because you're fighting the wrong person or you're fighting the wrong entity. If I pick up a mannequin, y'all know I be trying to draw the picture so you can see where I'm coming from, because I know I sound crazy to some people, right? And I know everybody don't get where I'm coming from, but I love my sisters in here because y'all hang with me until I can make it make sense, right? So if I got a mannequin, okay, and I reach up and I take the mannequin's hand and I swing back and I slap you with it, should you be fighting the mannequin or should you come behind the mannequin and knock the hell out of me? I want y'all to answer that for me in the chat. Is your issue then the mannequin or the person that's manipulating and picking up the mannequin's hand? Tell me in the chat. Let me make sure we on the same page. Thank you, Lala. Our enemies don't always come in the packages we expected. They don't. They really don't. Hey, Kimmy G. Thank you, Nacho Twins, mama. Now somebody hear me and somebody gets it, right? The manipulator. Gwen says, yeah, the person. Christian said the person in control of the mannequin. That's right. There we go. Now we got it. Wanda said it best. The person picking up the hand. The puppeteer. I like that even better. Sharon say the puppet master. DT say always the manipulator. Hey, Miss Harris, how you doing? Okay, so we get it, right? So now that I done painted this picture, some of the people that are doing these things that are nicking at your nerves, some of the people telling lies on you, some of the people who may physically step on your toe, some of the people that are stealing from you, some of the people that are going around marking everything you do, copying everything you do, like a mockingbird, all that stuff, all those things that feel like attacks, some of them are just doggone mannequins. Some of them are just mannequins. Okay? Stop getting mad at the mannequin and pay attention to what's picking up its hand. I want y'all to really get this thing. I want you to really, really get it. Because it matters. It matters. When you sit up there and you fight with the mannequin, did you solve your problem? Did you solve your problem at all? The answer is no. You did not solve your problem, because whatever person, entity, what have you, that picked up that hand that hit you, or whatever entity manipulated that person in the line on you, you still have not fought with that entity yet. You up here fighting with a mannequin and you look crazy. Wouldn't you laugh if you saw me in the display window of a store fighting with a mannequin? Wouldn't you be like, Nitra done lost her goddamn mind? Wouldn't y'all laugh at me? Y'all be laughing at me anyway, but wouldn't you really be laughing? Wouldn't it? I mean, isn't that the most ridiculous thing that you've ever heard of? Y'all would be talking about me. Y'all would be telling people Nitra done finally lost it. Thank you, Catherine, for telling the truth. She sure would laugh. DC say 13th floor type behavior. Yeah, you would laugh. That's right. That's what I want y'all to understand. And you just hey, love my dogs too. Just as ridiculous as that sounds, hey, Bulat. And here's the thing, not just the people behind the scenes, this is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Sometimes your problem ain't the doggone people. Stop looking at the people, y'all. The people ain't your problem. Hey, Mary. The people ain't your problem. But when you react, you only see what's right in front of your face. And sometimes the water underneath it is a whole lot deeper. It's a whole lot deeper. When you react and now you're fussing and fighting with the one right in front of you, you fussing and fighting with a puppet. You fussing and fighting, saying all kind of crazy stuff, ripping folks to shreds, sometimes physically fighting, whooping Negroes all up and down the street. You look crazy. Hey, Naomi. You look crazy. You got to really stop and pay attention. And sometimes the people around you, if you're not careful, if you did not take accountability for the people in your circle, like I keep saying we have to do, the people around you will be encouraging you to fight with the doggone mannequin, to fight with the puppet. Oh, no, you got to say something. Oh, you better do something. Sometimes the best thing for you to do is nothing. Y'all know we've been hearing our whole lives that silence is the best answer for a fool. When somebody is allowing themselves to be a puppet or a mannequin, that's a whole fool, and I'm going to stand by that. Silence is the best answer for a fool. You don't have to answer to everything. Be still. Think. Reason. Get wise counsel. Pray over it. Sleep on it. And then make a decision. Hey, Alita. How you doing, boo? Don't do that. Don't jump up and react, because you're going to mess around and you're going to miss the entire point of what's happening to you. You're going to miss the entire thing. You're going to miss the boat. All of your enemies are not flesh and blood. Pay attention. Stop falling for the okie doke. Every fight ain't for your hands or your mouth. Not that way. Not that way. If you're going to be using your mouth and your enemy ain't flesh and blood, it better be because you out here making declarations. And you understand that your mouth has the power to make law, or should I say decree. People say decree and don't understand that a decree is the law. They're saying things in terms of, how do I want to say, cliches, and not really understanding what it means. They don't really understand the fact that the words in your mouth, you have the power to manifest. You can give birth or you can tear down and destroy. If you're going to be using your mouth to fight, stop using it to fight with the mannequin. Fight to whatever is manipulating the mannequin. Speak to that instead of speaking to the puppet. Speak to the spirit behind the puppet and make your word manifest. If you want to tear it down, speak to the destruction of the thing manipulating the situation, and stop fighting with mannequins and shadows and whatnot. Wonder Woman Marsha say, it's better to keep silent and let everybody wonder if you're a fool than to open your mouth and dispel all doubt. That's an oldie but goodie. DT's notes, lesson number 7. Don't jump and react immediately. Be still. Okay? CC Miller, thank you so much for the super chat, sis. She said you breaking it all the way down and making it plain. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you supporting the chat, and I appreciate you letting me know that I am making it plain. I'm trying. I'm really trying. And y'all know I feel bad. I can't get it together. My voice trying to come back, and now my sinuses have just completely erupted. And I don't even know what to do with it, but I just figure I'll keep going until I can't, and then I'll just ask your forgiveness at that time. But I appreciate you, CC. Marvin says, Shanitra, silence sure is the best answer for a fool. It is. And that's what I want y'all to pay attention to. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. Don't be out there fighting with mannequins. Because just like y'all said, y'all gonna laugh at me. Some people, some of these people and some of these entities that are manipulating these fights, they laughing at you because they got you chasing your tail and fighting with shadows. DT's notes, lesson number 7. Don't immediately react to every situation. Be still and know God. Silence is the best answer for a fool. Best quote for the day. It's true. Okay, all right. That's real pretty. Lala says, we have to remember we are constantly under spiritual attack. It's true. But the thing is, because we have a dual nature, the attacks that come to us are also physical. So we can't be, real crazy and just think everything is a spirit this and a spirit that. You still dealing with flesh and blood people and material and natural things that become obstacles, that become a problem. So you got to understand, like I said, if you're going to use your mouth to manifest. Use your mouth to make it plain. I will not be doing X, Y, and Z. Speak to it and say, whatever your plan, I'm canceling it. Whatever it is that you're trying to do to me, I reject it. Y'all know we talked about that when it came to those horrible dreams and visions and things that are trying to manifest on us. How I told you, before you even start your day, immediately reject those things. It's very important. And hold on. Miss Sparkle, thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate you supporting the stream. I appreciate it so much. She said, teach, you hitting the bullseye. Thank you for letting me know I'm not off point too much. Okay? Yeah, DEA, I like that one. Tell them you don't consent. I don't agree. Do not agree. If you're going to fight back, make sure you're fighting the right thing. Stop fighting with mannequins. Jazzy say, let them talk. You should, especially when you know you're looking at a wind-up doll and somebody just pulled its strings. Let it talk. DC say, I decline, like Noxzema. Sometimes you need to decline. Decline to reply. If you keep quiet, ain't nobody going to accuse you of being a deaf mute. I promise. Keep silent sometimes. Don't respond to everything. Angie is telling the truth. There's power in the tongue. You can speak birth or death with your mouth. And if y'all think I'm lying, try it out. See what happens. Start to speak positive things over your life. Start to to resist the urge to make negative confession against yourself. Don't start saying, well, I'm always be broke. If you keep saying that, you will. Start speaking positive things like, I'm going to make new money every day. Just begin to say positive things and see what happens. If you want to fight back with your mouth, that's how you do it. Doves, Crows, and Dragons says constructive affirmations. That's true. I believe in that. Say it with your mouth, but speak to the entity behind it. Stop getting into it with the people that look like you. What you doing? What are you doing? And bear in mind, like I mentioned earlier, and I want to circle back around to this because I really want it to sink in. Okay? Remember when we were discussing about those unpleasant dreams? Y'all remember that? And I was letting you know that sometimes you'll see those things because everything happens. Everything happens in the spirit first before it manifests. Okay? Everything that has a birth has an origin. Nothing just comes into fruition here that didn't originate there. So that's why when we dream, sometimes we see things before it happens. Gives you that feeling of deja vu. Y'all remember we covered that in another chat, right? Just like everything happens there is seen there, we get visions and dreams to warn us about certain things, and that's great. But what I want y'all to really understand, love my dogs too. Thank you so much for the super sticker, sis, and I appreciate you so much for supporting the stream and for always being so supportive. This is a sweet sister right here, okay? But we're not the only ones that can see what's going on. Those entities that don't have bodies and they're your adversaries, they see what's going to happen before it happens too. They live there. Always remember that. Just be logical. So if they see that you're going to be a problem for them later, if they see that you're going to become somebody positive that's helping people, that's breaking strongholds, that's helping people get their freedom, financial freedom, or whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing later on, that's going to be a problem for their agenda. Wouldn't it make sense for them to try to stop you? And if you were them and you didn't have a body, wouldn't you use the people who have bodies as instruments or tools against the person that you're trying to stop? And if one doesn't work, wouldn't you use another one and another one? Think about it. That's why I said earlier, pay attention when it looks like those attacks are coming back to back to back. When it looks like the problems are hitting back to back to back. I look at that the same way I told y'all about obstacles coming up before blessings and the balance, okay? Look at this the same way. When those attacks are back to back like that, you should start to get happy and understand that something is going down. There's something happening that you yourself don't understand yet. Because even though we may have a spiritual component to our being, we're still flesh and blood, right? So we don't see everything. We get bits and pieces. Just bits and pieces. That's all we get is bits and pieces. So understand that they've seen what's coming up. They can see who you are better than you can. And their interest is to stop you. Dana says goal blockers. If their job is to be a goalie, then it's a goalie. You get married on 12/31. Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha. We gotta, do something for that. Try to celebrate with you. But pay attention to the facts. And the facts are, you're more than what you know you are. Don't allow yourself to react. Please. That's why I said, let's have this chat. If you feel like fighting, fight the right way. Fight appropriately. Fight effectively. You wouldn't pick up a stick to fight a bear with. Use the appropriate weaponry when you're fighting. Just, I don't want us to be daft. I don't want us to be slow. I want us to pay attention. And I feel like we need to have that conversation because of the fact that there's a lot of us in here right now, that are under attack. It's on your job, it's in your family, sometimes your relationship, sometimes it's your money, and you ready to fight. You having all kind of reactions. You feeling some type of way, but you don't have to react. Please don't. Stop, think about it, take your time, respond. And sometimes the best response and the only response is to be quiet. Sometimes that's the best response. Lala say negative shapeshifters love to find hosts. Oh yeah, and they usually will find somebody that's willing to, give them a place to squat. But that's not our problem. We have to focus on which part of things are actually our problem. And that, unfortunately, just ain't one of them. It's just not, unfortunately. That is just the truth. So that's really all I got for it today. That's really it. I hope everybody is having a good Monday. Y'all know I'm still on struggle. At this point, I'm starting to feel like this is some kind of attack. Like, I don't understand it. Y'all know I've been around here croaking like Red Fox. Now, all of a sudden, my voice is trying to, recover. And now my sinuses are eating me alive. DT's notes, lesson number 8. Fight effectively. Use the appropriate weaponry. Remember, there are evil spirits about. That is so true. I love your notes, DT. And I want us to pay attention to that, man. Just, do the right thing for yourself. Don't be provoked is the main thing I want you to take away. Hey, bullies love to bully. How are you? Lord Dana said, you must be in my head. Your chat hit the point when I'm facing something going on in my life. Yep, and we got to. And I feel like sometimes we have our little chats. It's so we can encourage each other, right? Just to kind of stay on point. It's hard to be on point when you by yourself. It's easier when you got people to kind of tug your coat and encourage you. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Then try to encourage you to do the right things. You have got to. And y'all, that's it for it. I ain't got nothing else for it. Let me give you our takeaway, and then I'm gonna take myself away and try to go get some steam and put some ointment in my nose and everywhere else and try to get better. The first takeaway is there are some obvious physical reasons where we may have to fight, right? For preservation of life, your safety, protection of your loved ones, or livelihood, those type of things, okay? We also want to take away when we should walk away and how to know the difference between when we are reacting and when we are responding. And we all know the difference, but you got to check yourself. Gauge what you're doing. Be honest with yourself and check yourself. That way nobody else don't have to check you, but check yourself, okay? The next thing is make sure that you're paying attention to whether your issue is really what's in front of you or whether it's a manipulation, because some things are just that. And then our last takeaway is making sure that you're fighting appropriately and using the right weaponry. And make sure that you're not out here fighting mannequins and puppets, and you're actually addressing what's behind the attack or the threat that you're currently under. Okay? So y'all give me some feedback in the chat. Let me know. And did I cover it? Did I miss anything? Did I leave out anything? Because the link is there, but y'all don't talk back to me much. Don't too many people want to come up and holler at me. That's cool. But let me know if the information I gave or the chat that we had today, if it was helpful at all. Marva got the bullseye up, so I'm going to take that to me. Christian got the bullseyes up. Thank you so much for at least letting me know that I'm not just talking to myself. Okay. As Collins said, I was like, okay, good. That's the thing. I just don't want to feel like I'm out here talking for nothing. Lady C. Red say it was excellent and well appreciated. Okay. Nacho Twins mama say I covered it. Okay. I'll take that. Thank you. Because it's just like, I think that right now it's something strange going on. And I want us to be careful and be vigilant, not to be given over to reactions, because something is going on atmospherically. And I don't know what it is, so I don't pretend to. I never try to pretend to know nothing I don't know. But I feel like there's something going on in the ether, atmospherically, that the small attacks that we're witnessing, a larger attack is on the horizon. And I want us to be careful and be mindful of all of these things. Remember to encourage each other. Remember to back each other up. You know, I told y'all before, make sure that y'all keep in contact with each other. Y'all should be speaking to each other on social media and everything else. Back each other up. We don't know what's coming. Okay? Thank you, Lauren. Wonder Woman Marshall, you been feeling that too? Okay, that's really what I've been feeling, and it's to the extent I had talked with Egypt and JC as well as some of my good friends from home about the fact that it's like I've been feeling like I need to be trying to put systems in place or things in place to try to make sure that my sisters are okay, because we don't know what's coming, and I just feel like something is coming. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed, I went over on the community tab, and yeah, definitely. And I'm just, I'm trying to be easy, but I would be a liar to say I didn't notice it. I did. I went over on the community tab and I posted an updated list of vendors for women's clothing. For those of you who want to wholesale and maybe set up an e-store or whatever, I want y'all to start focusing on making your money away from them folks, okay? Do what you need to do to make sure that you feather your nest. Make sure that you're protected. If you don't have seeds, start to buy seeds. And I mean for every manner of vegetable you got. Buy your bags of compost. If you're in an area where you don't have land, get you a planter box. If you don't know where to buy one, go buy the wood from Lowe's and build that sapsucker. Call me if you need to, and I will help you do it. We had better start to prepare ourselves. Something ain't right, y'all. Hey, Jackie, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Something is not just so. And I want y'all to start preparing yourselves. Make sure you got dry goods. Make sure you keep a few cases of water in the house that you don't touch. Start to get ready. Yes. Start to stockpile. Get yourself ready. Prepare your family. Okay? Because I don't know what's going on. I'm going to do my part to back my sisters up. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. Hey, Lady Gang. Say, I'm just wondering if you tried steam with peppermint in the water for your sinus. I did not try that, actually. That ain't a bad idea. That ain't a bad idea at all. But yeah, it's the truth, as Collins. The atmosphere is absolutely off. And you say you were looking for starter garden kits? Let me tell you what you can do if you don't find a kit, because I've never used a kit. I'm from the country. We just garden. However, you can buy a planter box or you can make one. You can definitely make one. You can get you some wood. Lowe's, a lot of times Lowe's and Home Depot, they'll cut the wood for you. And you can take your drill, and we're women, but we can use power tools. Drills ain't even that expensive. Okay? Put those boards together. Sometimes if you go in the store and ask those men, what size wood would I need? I want to make a planter box. You ain't even got to tell them what you planting. Okay? And then what you do is you get some soil from the ground. If you got some black dirt, you can use mushroom compost to build that dirt up. The Black Cow fertilizer, Black Cow is a brand. I just like Black Cow. And it's like a 50-50. And you can build that soil up and begin to plant your food. You never know what type of shortage may come, and you never know when these people might decide that if you don't do what I tell you to do, we're not even going to let you buy food. They already telling you if you don't do what they say, they ain't going to let you work and earn a living. You had better protect yourself. Prepare yourself. We do not know what is coming. I can guarantee you what it's not time for is arguing and bickering with mannequins and puppets. Pay attention to when things are a distraction. It's good to laugh. We all like to be entertained. But I want us to be ready. I desperately want us to be ready. It's some uncertain days ahead. I don't know what's coming. You know, we looked at, even if you look at the weather, it's been hotter than usual. I think, didn't they say, y'all, that July was the hottest July in how long? It was a long time. You know, I forgot how many years they said it was the hottest. But that hot water equals bad storms. We over here right now, they talking about a tropical storm coming, which that don't scare me. I'm from Florida. I grew up seeing storm after storm, as a matter of fact. But when the water is hot like that, it was so hot over there in California, I think they said that the fish was washing up on the beach dead. Okay, Wonder Woman Marshall, they say in recorded history, I can believe it. Anytime the water's that hot, y'all know the hot water is what feed them storms. I want everybody to be careful. Prepare yourself. Hey, Wicked, you made it in here. I ain't gonna keep y'all too much, but it's on my heart. It's really been on my mind. Protect yourselves. If you don't know what to do, reach out. I'll help you. If I don't know it, I will go find somebody and I'll get back to you. Shaquila said, well over 100 years, almost 150. Bet. This is what I'm getting at. We do not have time to be fighting with no mannequins or no puppets. And if anything, feel sorry for the people that's wasting their time with that kind of mess. Honestly, I don't actually want to see any of our folks from the royal family engaging in that stuff. I don't want to see any of us engaging in that. It does feel like a dress rehearsal, doesn't it? It does. And for those of us who have every intention of resisting, understand that resistance ain't easy. And sometimes it costs you, especially if you don't prepare yourself. That's all I got for it. I just wanted to leave y'all with that thought, wanted to kind of put it on your mind a little bit. Think about it. Prepare yourselves, ladies. Don't take nothing for granted. Make sure you keep some cash money. This electronic money ain't always what it is. You know, they can shut that stuff down, and what you got in the bank, you might not never be able to touch it. Try to keep you some cash on hand, a decent amount. Don't just spend it. Get your seeds, get your dry goods, get your canned goods. Make sure y'all got some paper maps. Stop depending on GPS. If these phones go down, what you gonna do? And make sure you still know how to read a map at that. Because some of us done forgot how to read maps, haven't we? Because we got so dependent on this technology. Sometimes all this technology ain't nothing but a trap. So you forget how to do what come natural to you. Pay attention. Take care of yourselves. Okay? I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to go and try to steam. I think I saw DC tell me to put bay leaves in the water. Is that what you said, sis? Because I saw it, but I was running my mouth. And I didn't want to lose what I was thinking. Bay leaves. Okay. And with the peppermint. Gotcha. Yeah, I push. That's why I said I'm not feeling my best. I'm sure by now y'all can tell that I'm not doing my best. However, like I said, I'm going to push until I can't. And on the day that I have to just lay it down, then I will apologize at that time. But for now, I'm going to push. Queen Mermaid say AAA give you free maps. Yeah, and you can buy them at the truck stop too. You can definitely get them at the truck stop. Get you a map, whatever you got to do. Get yourself together. Christian say she never knew how to read one. Well, they ain't hard to read. If you need help, I'll help you. I will definitely help you. She said she told me to go to sleep. Okay, I'm going to do that. It ain't going to be right this minute. Not right this minute. Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday. We celebrated over here too. We sure did. DC, you want me to text you her info if you want to do a little something for her? Either way, I'll shoot it to you if you ask me to. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, and hop off of here. DC trying to send me to bed. I can't go to bed yet since I still got work to do. But soon as I finish my work, I'm gonna put on my weighted blanket that Happy to Be Happy sent me, and I'm gonna try to get a couple of winks of sleep, even though I can't promise y'all nothing. Okay. So in any event, yep, happy belated birthday. Well, we told you happy birthday yesterday, but happy birthday again. We absolutely love you. I love every last one of y'all. Make sure that you take care of yourselves. Stay encouraged. Most of all, remember to encourage somebody else. I do promise to drink some hot tea, and I'm going to try to take care of myself. I promise y'all that too. Y'all have a productive and a positive Monday. I may try to do something a little bit later in the day with Gabor. Y'all know that's my baby brother. I love him to death. So even if I ain't feeling 100%, I always try to show up for him. And I hope y'all will show up for him as well. Like I said, I just love y'all. Take care. And we'll talk again tomorrow, okay? Bye, y'all.